So basically, um, anybody's network traffic can be monitored. So with Wireshark, it takes that and it allows us to analyze what's going on here. So I mean, it looks very intimidating at first, but I think if I know how to like see what's going on, look at the important information, then it's a lot more easier. So like I said, if I visit a website, let's say I go to google.com and I want to find out like what time is the game tomorrow, I can just type in NBA and I'll go to the nba.com website and see what time the game is. I can, go here, see who won the last game, who won game three. I can go to the box score and all these things. So I get to click here. Let's say I want to see more. Okay, Steph Curry had a good game. Let me check him out and see what's going on. All this information is being, uh, there's a session going on here, and it's all being can all be analyzed because it's traffic. I'm visiting this website. Let's say I go to uh, check something else. If I go to, let's say, Indeed.com and I want to see what's going on here, and I'm looking for a job and stuff like that. If I come back here, let's say I was analyzing that and I wanted to pick up uh, pick up that traffic, I would have captured it and click start, and it would have picked up all of that traffic, and it would have looked similar to this, and it would have shown a lot of different information. So we can use that in that same sense. We can use that to, well, I can use that to track an attacker's activities when he pretty much hacked into our machine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these questions to help me get a better understanding of how the attacker did what he did, and go from there. So the first question says the attacker is trying to log into a specific service. What service is this? Check my hints, and it's port 21 is FTP, and I'll confirm this by service. So, and from what I can see, I see port 21. It's info. Uh, it shows info about the packet. So it looks like port 21. If I scroll down, I see a lot more. I don't think these are ephemeral ports. So 21, 21. So it looks like it's a lot of 21 traffic. And then if I right click and follow hello FTP world, and that kind of confirms it. So I can type FTP. There is a very popular tool by Van Houser which can be used to brute force a series of services. What is the name of this tool? So brute force is pretty much when an attacker uses some type of application or some type of tool to pretty much try as many passwords as possible until it gets it right. It's like it's brute forcing its way in, just trying to. You're given 1,000 keys, and one of those keys is going to open up a door. So you just keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying until you can finally open that door with that key. And that's what the brute force pretty much is. So there's a service or tool that was used by Van Houser. So if I just do a basic Google search, I'll be able to tell. Let's see. So it looks like it's Hydra. So if you look here, Hydra Kaylin is, so Hydra is one of the tools. So he most likely used a Hydra. I don't want to get too deep into it. It's a parallelized login cracker which supports numerous protocols to attack. It is very fast and flexible, and new modules are easy to add. So basically, that's what he used. So I'm going to type that in. The attacker is trying to log on with a specific username. What is the username? So after I can see the username here is Jenny. Please specify the password. And he tried pass and login incorrect. And then 331, login incorrect. So he piled a lot of those. That ungodly number. All right, so it looks like it's going to be Jenny. That's the username he tried. But how did I get here? So I pretty much literally just clicked on the traffic and did follow TCP stream. And obviously, FTP is on port 21, so obviously it's going to show as a TCP stream. So, and its username is in red is Jenny. So that's what the password is going to be. The next question is, what is the user's password? So password, that was incorrect. And the password was incorrect also. Let's see how many letters is in it. The password is displayed in FTP request, obviously, so, but it's not showing in this one. So what I'll do is I'll try to look and see if there's any. I could also try filter login incorrect. Luckily, there's not that much. Let's see if we can find. So I took those filters out and I want to just see if there's like okay, user password 123. So let's click on that. Follow TCP stream, and he tried, and he's just brute forcing at this point with that. And then he was finally able to get in. So password is password 123. So all right, so we're making our way through that good amount left. What is the current FTP working directory after the attacker logged in? What is the current FTP directory? So FTP directory after the user logged in. So looks like it's going to be this is the current directory, but I'm not sure what they mean by FTP directory. Let's see. Is a synchronous activity that retrieves the name of the current remote directory. Okay, so looks like that's what it is. So it's going to be, I don't think it's going to let me paste. Okay. That looks like that's the working directory. The attacker uploaded a backdoor. What is the backdoor's file name? So pretty much backdoor. Anytime an attacker accesses a machine, usually there's a point of entry. Maybe they're able to log in or something like that. But if he does a backdoor, he's gonna do it in a way that's like unnoticeable, or it's gonna be kind of untraceable. It's not gonna stand out like to the normal human eye, but we have to use tools like Wireshark to figure out. And we can figure this out with Wireshark, but from a user's perspective or from a non-software like this, you wouldn't really be able to tell how he was able to backdoor in. So we use a tool to backdoor. So let's try to figure that out. So what is a backdoors file name? It's a PHP extension. So PHP is like a it's like a language for like websites that they use, just like JavaScript or Python. PHP is just another type of language. So it's gonna be .php. I think it's shell.php. But let's keep looking. So we logged in, and it showed them the current directory. Then it shows the ports list. It's like he did a Linux, list minus LA. What's list minus LA? List minus LA. Okay, let me get sidetracked. So he did shell.php. That's that's the backdoor that he uploaded. The backdoor can be downloaded from a specific URL and is located inside the upload file. The backdoor can be downloaded from a specific URL as it is located inside the upload file. So let's go to the upload file. That's an interesting one. Look at the FTP data protocol. Okay. So all right, I'm gonna take this out and let's the backdoor can be downloaded from a specific URL and as it is located inside the upload file. So we need to find the upload file for this. Let's see. So I'm just gonna FTP data. I don't know if that's a filter. Okay, yeah, it is a filter. Is it gonna like search for it? Let's take this out. Let's just do FTP data. And then I'll just stream TCP stream. All right, so this is like not really helpful. This is like a Linux file system. It's like directory. This is the directory. You know, it's a directory because it starts with a D and it just shows information. So that's not really helpful. Instead, I want to see. Instead, I want to see like, let's see if this finds anything. Yeah, okay. So a reverse shell implementation in PHP. So this looks like a more reasonable. So what's it? This looks like the email pen test monkey. So maybe there is a URL somewhere here and CHTTP. So this looks like the URL if you get stuck. So like this is all like information that the attacker is using. It doesn't really make sense to me because it's like the attacker has his like plan of action. So I mean, it's important as a like analyst to be able to understand the mind of a attacker. So he's pretty much the backdoor can be downloaded. So the backdoor was downloaded. He downloaded the backdoor from this URL. So I guess so. This URL will be kind of like the command and control center for this attack, if I'm not mistaken. And this is like the what he used. So which command did the attacker manually execute after getting a reverse shell? Which command? So a reverse shell, let me refresh my memory. I'm pretty sure this has to do with like credentials. Access a server. It opens the communication channel port and waits for incoming connections. Okay. So hints are very helpful in this room. You can right click on the relevant packet and select follow TCP stream. So this is pretty much showing. This is like a script that he ran. It's like an if statement. If error can't fork. So we're looking for a reverse connection, open reverse connection. Which command? So it's not really a command. This is more like a script. So he had to execute this script when he what command did the attacker manually execute after getting a reverse shell? So he manually executed it. Let's just keep looking at this. Okay. I'm going to close this out and let's see. Okay, so for the remainder of the questions, it's going to be a good idea of just starting from 452 all the way downward, I think, to the end. We're going to stream that TCP. For me, well, I'm just going to do 452. That's so after he got in, this is after the reverse shell command. This is pretty much, now this is pretty interesting because it's literally showing everything that he did on Linux. So he first off, he wanted to see who was he logged in as, and it shows that he logged in. He was logged in as who am I? So another question could have asked was who was the user? Who did the attacker log in as, or who was he the attacker once he got access to the system? So it's pretty much who am I? And it's interesting and it's cool because it literally shows you everything that he did a LS to see what was in the specific system. You know, he did sudo L, that he knew the password already. He brute forced it. He was able to get in as an administrator. You know, he changed directory. He uploaded. It looked like he cloned GitHub. So I guess he was uploading information. Very, very interesting, and it shows you how powerful PowerShell actually, what PowerShell, Wireshark is. So we pretty much did that, uploaded stuff. Okay. The next question is, what is the computer's host name? Let's see the host name for the computer. The host name. So a host name for a computer is basically it's a label that is assigned to a device connected to a computer network. So like on Windows, it would probably be like uh, this tech term. So on Linux, it'd be different. It's going to be, I'm pretty sure I can find that here. It'd be most likely this is user information. How many letters is it? All the hints. Okay. It's host name. Yeah, it's going to be here at the top. So I just had to know how to find a host name on a Linux. On Ubuntu, let's see if they have like something highlighted. Yeah, it's going to be at the top. It's going to be at the top. So you got to know what to look for. I think it's WIR3. All right, which command did the attacker execute to spawn a new time TTY shell? It's TTY. TTY, what is a TTY shell command? Prints the file name of the terminal. So basically prints the file name of the terminal. All right, I guess there's no acronym. So the question is, what command did the attacker execute to spawn a new TTY shell? Let me go back and let me see what that means. So spawning a TTY shell. Often during pen tests, you may obtain a shell without having TTY yet wish to interact further with the system. So I guess you want to interact further with the system. So it doesn't really give us a definition. So, but these are commands that we need to be looking for. So we see some Python here. Let's see. So I do see some, yeah. So spawn and Python. So it's a long command. Python -c. I think it's that whole one. Three. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, so I'm not sure if this is right. It's right, but I don't understand what that means. So when he spawned a new TTY shell, what exactly does that mean? Stack Exchange, you got to be careful because these people do not like newbies. They put out information that is so hard to understand. So a terminal is at the end of an electric wire. Obviously, a shell is the home of a terp. It's a strange image, and it causes. Well, see, yeah, like I said, that's just not human readable with a TTY shell. Print the file name of the terminal connected to standard, but allows you to interact with the system by passing on the data to the system and displaying the output. Okay. So let's see what happened. So when he did that, it asked for his pseudo information. And I guess they started showing him paths and other stuff. And then he was able to do like Git stuff. So, which command was executed to gain a root shell? So, usually to gain a root, it's going to be something like this sudo -l. But if you go on a Linux, if you go on a Linux machine and you're trying to like sudo, because right now I'm RDM root, but if I do like sudo, if I just do sudo, it's going to give me like a lot of different things. So from what I saw, it looked like he did sudo -l. It says, let's see, sudo. And sudo. I don't. So sudo. Let's see if we can get what sudo means. List. If no command is specified, so L, it will be list. If no command is specified, list the allowed and forbidden commands. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking it's sudo. Okay, that's incorrect. So let's go back here. Which command was executed to gain a root shell? All right. Let's go back to 5.452. Which command was executed to gain a root shell? So obviously, okay, maybe I should have just done that. SU Jenny. It goes from 4-letter to sudo SU. Which yes, usually if I'm going to log into a Linux machine, I'm going to type sudo SU. It's going to ask for the password. But then -l is going to list. So it listed. So why did he do that? He did sudo -l. So then he did it again. Okay. And then I guess he did that to confirm that he was now root. And once he was root, he was able to pretty much upload information. But I guess we'll get to that. The attacker downloaded something from GitHub. What is the name of the GitHub project? Let's see, it is. So this is the GitHub URL here. So it could either be forbidden or reptile, but let's see. Let's try reptile. Okay. And this is the last question. The project can be used to install a stealthy backdoor on the system. The project can be used to install a stealthy backdoor on the system. It can be very hard to detect. What is this type of backdoor? What is this type of backdoor called? So this is a backdoor that is stealthy. I know earlier I was kind of trying to explain, try to get a better understanding of like backdoors, and backdoors are just like stealthy. Like there's always, every website has a point of entry. It's a point of entry is like what a actual user is supposed to be using, like a username and password. But if I'm an attacker, obviously I'm not going to use a front door. I'm going to use a backdoor, and this type of backdoor is apparently very stealthy. So let's try to figure it out. A certain type of kit. They probably stealthy. I'm gonna just Google that. I feel like I could Google stealthy backdoor. I didn't. Well, maybe I can do a better job of actually reading the TCP stream, but I kind of already know the answer now. But let's see. So this is. Let's go back to the from here. So he's now in Reptile. He hasn't backdoored in yet. He's just uploaded or cloning into Reptile. Let's see if we see anything. Okay, I don't see anything. I think it's called rootkit. Let's even let's try this out to just to be more proactive with, because as a mind of a cybersecurity professional, I just can't go by just by what I think. I have to actually know for a fact that this is what is actually happening. So let me. This is the GitHub repository that the attacker was using, and most likely it's a reptile that tested on features. Give root to unprivileged users. Look at that. Hidden files and directories, hide processes, hide himself. Very, very cool. I'm sure somebody can do a lot of damage with that. And so this could be like a command and control server. Yes. But it's a rootkit. So it's a LKM Linux rootkit. I mean what the hint says. A certain type of kit. It's a rootkit. All right, so that was like the first part of it. So pretty much we were able to do some reconnaissance, not reconnaissance. We did some investigation, and we used Wireshark to pretty much find out exactly what the attacker did. So the attacker pretty much was able to brute force his way in using Hydra. We saw that from the TCP stream, and then he logged in to the Linux Ubuntu host Wire3, and then he did LS, did all that stuff, and once he already brute force, so he knew the password for Jenny, and then he was able to clone some stuff from GitHub, and then so most likely he was able to change the password. I know that's like because he's in it now. So once an attacker's in a machine like this, he can CIA of cybersecurity is breached because confidentiality is now altered. He has access to information that he shouldn't have access to. Integrity is breached also because he can change information, he can change passwords, he can change files. He has access. Let's say this is an organization, and he was able to, you know, um, get into the system. He has access to all the stuff lost and found, media. These are all directories, and this is the size of these files, and they're big files, especially this one, swap.image system. He has all this information and also availability. He could like change the passwords for the admin, and the admin can't log in. And if the admin can't log in, then it's a big deal. So the first part is done. So we were able to pretty much just thank. Luckily, we have a PCAP file. So now it's going to be about hacking our way back into the machine.